Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Warm welcome to each one of you on behalf of Bangalore branch of SIRC of ICI. Today we have an interesting topic on latest technology in statutory components and trends in labour laws. We have very eminent speaker, Mr. Anil Prem Souza, to present on today's topic. I now request CAB Line Point to kindly escort the speaker onto the dais and kindly welcome him with his floral bouquet. Big round of applause. Thank you, Vinay sir. Please proceed. To briefly introduce our speaker, Mr. Anil Prem Souza is the CEO of Simpliance and Sibensol, which provides consulting and technology implementation solutions in the field of business shared services across the globe. Sibensol's current focus in the Middle East region with live shared services projects in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He is also the founder CEO of an award-winning compliance application, Simpliance, which is growing rapidly. And Simpliance was awarded the Best Startup Award for a breakthrough compliance application. He is highly experienced and energetic shared services and compliance tech leader with a visionary approach to bring futuristic technology and the process into operations, thereby enabling efficient and effective business operations. He is an excellent mentor to build high-performance teams in the organizations, and he was lead commander in the executive operations of the Indian Navy, followed by the shared services career in the leadership positions in companies such as Nokia, Microland, and before founding the Sibensol. And his interest in compliance technology and the operations team form a fusion of working experience from human aspects of HR to precision of military operations. With this brief introduction, I welcome you for today's study circle, sir. And on behalf of the branch, as a token of appreciation and gratitude, I request C.A. Govinda to kindly come forward and present memento to our speaker for taking time out of this busy schedule and coming over here for giving this presentation.
Thank you so much.
Round of applause. Thank you, sir. Over.
Is going online, registration of establishments are going online, right? Can you hear me? Yeah? If you look at it, a lot of companies are still going online. I mean, that's been the general trend that we're seeing. So companies, what we're seeing is a lot of companies are not able to make this shift. They don't know what is going online, what is going offline. In fact, today I had a discussion I was having. In fact, I had met I think one of my colleagues and I met a very interesting person yesterday. We had met who was the head of HR of Logica. And it was actually a very nice discussion that we had in terms of why labor laws are not applicable to today's world. Right? And this is the conversation that we had yesterday, saying working hours, right? Now, working hours defines that you have to work 8 hours a day with a break in between and all of that, right? But he was giving an example in today's IT world where everything's online, and what happens when you send an email to your boss at 11 o'clock in the night? What happens? Is that working? And your boss responds. Is that working or not working? I mean, today you're on WhatsApp, you're everywhere. So those kind of challenges, right? The states are changing the laws, right? And but a lot of people are not aware. Right? For example, in Karnataka, you can take, if you want to maintain registers online, you take an approval. But now Karnataka has gone ahead and said, all of you can, there's an open statement which the government has made saying you can do things online. But if you go to Chennai, they won't do it. So a lot of complications. A lot of flux going on because some people are going offline, some people are going still online, so a lot of people are struggling, right? So that's what's happening. If you have any questions, just hold them. I've got my legal head here. I think Madhu is sitting here. He's a very knowledgeable person in labor laws. So if you have any questions that crop up in your mind, just hold it, and maybe we can take the questions at the end. Yeah. So some of the change. So I used to be a HR head Okay, so I used to be HR. So as soon as I shifted from my time in the Navy and I was heading Nokia, I was heading Microland. And the biggest challenges that we faced was managing evidence. You might be compliant at that point, but when the auditor comes, you have to show the evidence. I think that's true in all that's why we do accounting, I think. Right? I mean, you have to account and ensure that those numbers are made. And similarly, in labor compliance, similar stuff, right? You need to be compliant. So the evidence has to be managed. And that is where a lot of people fail, right? Suddenly some inspector will walk in or some auditor will walk into your office and say, now show me 3 years data. And then we know what happens. You either bribe that guy, I say, no, why are you disturbing me, you want money, not taking it. Or you can be compliant. See, okay, so that is something that you're really facing issues in the industry that we have seen. So that's something that we really see. And like I said, fast changing laws. And if you probably looked at it, Child Labour Act recently got amended. I mean, Maternity Act has now become a big issue, right? I have friends. I don't know. There are women in the thing, but a couple of women in the floor. But I know people are saying don't hire women anymore because of the maternity benefit. Saying why should we hire women? There's so much of maternity leave. How can we give them? And that's an issue now. This is what business people are thinking. How do you bring compliance? I know the law is there, but how do you bring compliance becomes an issue. And you can't predict. Right? You need to think, and this is something that we are doing. As and when you grow further and further, you have many more. I mean, the biggest thing, if you just don't want to grow as a company, then it's okay. You just have one establishment to manage, then I think it's fine. But if there's a business and they want to grow, I think what would happen is complying with different states. The law in different states is different, right? That is really becoming a problem. And we just had, I had this discussion again, I think I bring up because it's very fresh in my mind yesterday. Again, the head of HR of Logica was talking to us, and he was telling us, saying he had a mandate from the global head saying let's make everything automated, let's make employee experience so good that they should just walk into the office and not fill any forms and just go to their jobs, right? And we said yeah, let's do it and all of that. And then so they started filling. They made everything online. So when the employee comes, you just look at your data, say sign, and you keep going. Otherwise, you generally see you have to fill some 14 forms and all of that. And then all of this happened, and one day an inspector walked in. He says, "Where is your father's name on the payslip?" He says, "They don't collect, as a global company, they don't collect father's name because global companies don't want father's name." He says, "I want you, not your father." Right? So he said, "Now what to do?" And this guy was saying, labor laws are so bad, but he had to comply then. Then he did one thing. Then he said, in a club membership of Logica, they had a club Logica, everyone had to become a member. He said in the club membership, he says, what is father's name? Just to ensure that if you want, father also wants a club membership, we can give you. So made it manually filled up in India. And from there, he used to pull and show it in different states. So in some states they wanted, some states they didn't want. So when you grow big, your data management and all of that and different checklists and all is going to throw a lot of issues, right? You might have, you may be CAs of companies where they're growing. Suddenly they say, "No, I want to start establishment in, let's say, Punjab." Right, sitting in Bangalore, someone says in Punjab. Right. So how do you ensure that labor compliance is done? I'm concentrating more on labor compliance because that's the field, right? That's how you need to be aware of all the things that have changed. And what we have seen in today's pitfalls is one of the things the government, and one of the reasons for us to start compliance. I'll tell you why. I think this is very important before I tell you why we started compliance. Okay, this is my real story. Okay, so I was brought up. All of you must know acts and rules and all of that. You're all CAs. I was introduced to the act. The first act that I saw was called the Navy Act, 1957. Okay. It even describes how you have to wear the uniform, which leg you have to keep first while marching, all of that. Right? So I was very used to it. But when Nokia, my first job outside the Navy, so it was still okay. I was not into compliance, I was more into employee relations, managing employees and all of that, because we had a huge plant with 12,000 employees. And all of that, the entire Nokia SEZ was like 60,000 employees. And so that was still okay, so I was learning. But when I came to Microland, right? I became the global head of HR shared services, managing all the labor compliances across the globe. And I was very naive. I didn't know the law and all of that. So, but it was crushed upon me. I said, okay, let's do this also. Right? And I realized that the consultants in Delhi, consultant in Bombay, consultant in Pune, they were all playing around with me. Right? Every day I would get a notice. I said, why are you getting notice? Why are we not compliant? So, no sir, inspectors are like that. I said, let me go. No, sir, you don't come. I said, I'm a commander in the Navy. This inspector is lower than my rank. No? Inspector is lower than a commander. The commander is equivalent to a SP or maybe a IAS rank, right? So, commissioner or something. I'll come and speak. I had this attitude back at that time. Then I realized they're all hand in glove. So, this guy consultant will come and tell, sir, this company doesn't have this. Well, you go there and give a notice. I will manage the money. Then I said, this is not good. I went to a person who was actually responsible for me. So another company came and approached me. I will not name the company. It's a well-known company. So they came and told, we're going to do compliance for you. Hassle-free compliance, all India, you sit here, we have our own company. I said, okay, I outsourced it to this guy. It's a single point of contact. He will solve all my compliance problems. I outsourced this guy. And this guy, doing pretty well. He put a person also in my company saying he will manage compliance for you. And one day, another big four company, the Deloitte, Ernst & Young, all this, one of the big companies, I will not name which one. That company came and did an audit. Now 100 non-compliant checklist. All of them says director will go to jail. And I was like, oh, all of them will go to jail now. Right? And I was first time I was switching and then I asked this guy who had outsourced, I said, why are you not giving me like this, saying, no, this is the act, this is the rule, and this? Because board is now screaming at me. Saying such a big non-compliance, all the board members are all going to jail, telling me what is this, Anil, what are you doing? And I said, then I asked this guy, I said, what is section 4 of the act? Where is it? He said, sir, it's not available. I said, I'm not available. It should be available somewhere, this is the government law. It's not available. That is one of the pitfalls that we see is, if you want the act and rule, it's very difficult to get. Maybe the big ones you will get. There will be lots of acts and rules which you will not get. I mean, even when we put our compliance tool together, it was very difficult for us. I mean, we literally sent people across the thing. I said, boss, if you want, go to the government printing press and get one copy from there. In fact, people have gone where they said, I have an experience, not a friend, is not here. Ajay is there. Ajay, in fact, went to Goa. He took up printing press saying, no, sir, 1 hour I take Xerox and give it back to you. He somehow convinced that person there in Goa to actually go and take that print and come back because the books are not available. That's the biggest problem today. Big states you will get, smaller states you will not even be aware. We started discovering this when we wanted to put some plans together. Right? States will release their own thing, acts and rules, right? So that's another big problem. And we all have to comply by it. And that's what I have learned. That's how there's no one from the Labour Department, right? That's how the Labour Department probably makes money. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so they have to comply. We are not compliant. They walk in, and that's how they make money. Anyway, I was ex-commander anyway, so I can see all those things. So the biggest problem that we see is multiple locations, multiple clients, all of this. Generally, I think companies will try to outsource, but I think a lot of things also falls on you guys on serious. Right? They trust you in terms of saying, okay, please do this for me also. Right? And a lot of changes in the acts and rules, and then reporting. And reporting becomes a big aspect of the entire thing, saying, okay, I've done this, I've done that, all of that. And then you go through a lot of audits, right? So, and then you have external audits and government audits. So, these are some of the issues that we see everywhere. Here you don't know the act. Here there are different compliances, different states, different zones. I don't know what's happening in Assam. Forget it, Assam, all the 7 sisters. I in fact called the Labour Minister. One day I picked up the phone and spoke to the Labour Minister. He said, no, you come to Arunachal Pradesh, no problem, you come. I said, okay, I'll come. I have to go there. In fact, I'm trying to plan a trip there to see. Because there is a lot of things there, whether it's central, state. Some people have not even, the IAS also not bothered to even make a rule. They said, whatever is the next state is doing, we'll do it. Okay, so that's how it's been. And the problem with outsourcing is what I experienced. Apart from your big 4, no one knows the law. them think they know the law. Everyone is contemplating what is the right thing to do, right? And a lot of things which give you different. I mean, law is like that, but at least some kind of thing of what is the law is not there. Okay. Changes notifications, forget it. I think that's something that we will not get unless you are well connected, and it only circulates among them. And by the time it circulates and comes to you, it's already a little too late. Because inspector, as soon as the notification goes up, probably will be on the streets. Right? The biggest problem that I was ever seen is if you have an internal team member maintaining compliance, the person quits, and today that's a big problem. I think Divya was when I was speaking with Divya. I think she was talking about a company where people quit, 20 people quit together and go. Because manager and his subordinate, they all take them and go together. Right? What happens to your compliance then? If you don't store it properly? I think that's something that you're seeing in level of compliance. Audits are big pain if you don't do the audit properly. Right? It takes you, wears you down. In fact, there's no value add in that because you've already done the job, but then there's no value add. Right? So these are some of the pitfalls that you're seeing in the labor compliance delivery by our experience. Now, more and more when we interact with, we also speak to a lot of global companies when we do global shared services and all that. People are becoming very, very careful about compliance, right? Because especially companies which come from outside, they're very, very cautious about compliance because they don't know the law of the land, and everyone can fool you, right? And I have this experience in Nokia where, because of SA 8000 standards, so SA 8000 standards of social audit, SA 8000 standards, Nokia was so adamant about being compliant that we actually ended up doing the wrong thing. Wrong thing in an operational standpoint, where they said, no, I think we should have a union. So there was someone guided them wrongly, and we had a union, and the next day the factory was shut. Right? So people are ready to spend money, saying if you have to pay a thing. So this is a Ernst & Young study, right? 66% in companies in Europe, Middle East, and India, they always want compliance. Everyone. I think the down level they don't think, but I think this is the audit which says a lot of people want compliance. They want to see a dashboard which says I'm compliant, right? And 70% of global organizations feel that compliance. They have to rely a lot on compliance to safeguard against failure. And that's very important because you don't know when things will go wrong. And one inspector who almost brought Maggie down, right? One baker and one food inspector brought Maggie down, almost. I don't know whether there was some excess between to bring different kinds, but I think that really. So one small guy can bring your entire company down. Okay. We see companies investing more in risk and compliance. Not just we are talking about labor compliance. Rather than when we speak to a lot of people, right from I think our clients include Airtel, Tech Mahindra, they're actually saying, Anil, can you also give us other compliance? Can you give us finance? Can you give us environmental health and safety and act and all of this? So this is something that companies are really want. They're spending a lot of money. Globally, they spend about $40 billion just on compliance. Right? So this is something that we are seeing as a. So what are they looking for? Security and process controls. So they want to see somewhere where they are feeling comfortable. Right? They want to see a process, they want to see control saying, okay, this month end, I want this task is there, I want this to be seen, where is that evidence shown? Right? So that's something they want to see. They want to see a control, they want dashboard and reporting that's intuitive, that they don't have to go and ask someone, they want to see it themselves. Right? That's something that people are asking for. And they want automation everywhere. Right? That's what, everything is becoming online. Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it's very difficult to see whether it's good for mankind or bad for mankind. Okay, because yesterday, I think with my sons itself, right, they don't even say good morning because they're all very too much on the phones. Right? They probably won't say good morning. The human touch is going away, but everyone wants automation. Everyone. Okay. And they also want incident issue management. So people are appreciating, when we speak to these clients of ours, they are saying that, okay, this was a problem, okay, this is a problem, what are you doing now? Now the issue is there, where are you recording it, how are you solving it? I think these are basic principles of Six Sigma, that the G and the big companies actually started working on issue management, RCI, root cause analysis. They want to see this happening on system. This is something that people were asking. and document management, saying I want all those documents in one place. Most importantly, business continuity. They want to see if this happens, what next, what is my backup, what should I do, right? So they want someone to tell them all of this, and they want data analytics and modeling, saying, okay, what if this fails, if all of this fails, where do we shift for operations? They actually take up data, saying, look at the laws, and saying, these are the set of laws, I think we should either set up a client here or set up a client here because these labor laws are difficult, these labor laws are easier, stuff like that. So that's something that actually they're looking at it. So I think what I think a little bit of Simpliance is doing all of this. We felt that we should actually, it was more of a, for me it was more of a vision in terms of changing the country. I said it was very simple for us, I think for me especially when we founded this company, is we said if there are laws, we should follow. Otherwise all of us should change. But first we should know the law. Like we should just cannot saying maybe it stems from my military background, saying we want to change everything. Sometimes I think people from the military, I sometimes wish they don't go to the military, right? Because you want to change everything. It's okay for a permanent commissioned officer who stays in the Navy or stays in the Army and makes it a career because they don't come out. People like us, when we come out, we feel very agitated because we can't. One thing is we can't adjust. I know I used to actually I still remember my first job was in Chennai after the Navy. I couldn't stand someone changing lanes in the car, right, when I'm driving on the road. I actually opened the door and banged it. I was very agitated. Why you can't follow law? Why are you changing lanes? So very difficult for me to adjust. So this entire Simpliance came about where we said, when I thought, when that experience happened to me, saying why do people don't know the law? Why can't you be compliant? If you don't comply, then change the law. We have to participate in lawmaking, right? I mean, that's what is democracy all about. I think that's what we came about, and so our focus was very different. So a lot of people said, Anil, why are you not making money? Why are you not thinking big? I said, if you want to change the country, you have to start at the bottom. You can't change, a lot change, right? So we actually started working with CAs. And small CAs, I think this guy is Pradeep, is not a CA, he's a compliance consultant. He's using Simpliance, I would rather say, Simpliance for cashew nut industry in Udupi, where they had not even heard of compliance. Labor inspector doesn't even know what is compliance in that location, right? He's now teaching labor inspector what is the law, right? There's another guy called Praveen in Chickpet. We had a very big change management with Pradeep. Let us the inspector walk in, we give him money and go, why are you doing it? Then actually, when he saw all of this, he says, at least you know the law, you're a CA. At least advise you don't have to comply, at least be aware and advise. I told Praveen, I said, you want to grow, you want to run your business, you want to become a good CA, right? Know the law first. He started doing that. In fact, after that, he slowly started realizing that I don't have to pay bribes. Because what can the inspector charge you with? He needs to charge you with something. He can come and say that, I don't have this, and I know these inspectors. They will catch you for things like, where is the inspection book? And who knows there should be an inspection book in the office? And that is a rough note book, and they should maintain one rough note so that, I don't know, the Lakeup or something, book is to, that book you have to keep, one book you have to keep, that's all. He'll come and charge you for that, you didn't have inspection. Yesterday, again, there was another discussion. I keep going back, it was very fresh in my mind. Is this HR head of Logica that I was talking about was also talking about the same thing, saying these inspectors only come for that, right? And they catch you for all these things, small things. And who will know that you will keep an inspection book? Oh, I will not know. But that's exactly what he'll catch you for. So this is something that we're working with. There is another consultant that we're working with. So what they are doing, so what we are enabling is, we are actually enabling the what, and that's the reason that we said CAs are people who work with companies. I think they should also know how labor laws can be made simpler, right, in terms of doing. So we've been growing quite a bit now. It's just been, I think, just about a year that we started, a year and a half that we started. Already we've got a lot of clients that we've got. S3 Solutions, Vinde Group, Co-Achieve, Tech Mahindra, I think a lot of them. Tech Mahindra was our biggest account that we started with. Teamlease as a company we started using. So Tech Mahindra was our first big account in terms of managing labor. They really liked the entire thing, for how labor law is done. And a lot of small groups. So we work with the lowest level and we work with the highest level. Because that has been the vision of changing labor laws. Right? After everyone knows the law, then you can question. Maybe the inspector is not going to change tomorrow, but I'm sure they'll make a change. Right? But somewhere it has to start. Right? So that's what we've been doing. I think these are some of our guys. I think we've been working with a lot of appreciation coming. In fact, we had it's not a customer exactly. Google is on our pilot. So we had a discussion with Google. We all go to Google for search things, but Google searches for labor law compliance and compliance on our technology. Right? So that's the thing. I think so. What we promote as a partner is we enable evidence management quite a bit. Exact laws will come to it. Actually, we'll see how you can learn laws much easier. Right? If you suddenly want to know something, how you can know much better. Right? We have a regular audit practice within Suppliance, which actually tells you audit it on a regular basis. Right? We have checklists and controls, and then we have predictive, so it always keeps telling you what to do next in labor laws. I will skip this. I want Hansa to run a demo, so you guys can ask any question, and she will tell you what is the act and what is the rule. Okay? And is there anything else after this? I think this is something that we'll talk afterwards. But before this, I think you can maybe showing how the law you can actually get into tomorrow if you have issues in labor laws, right? How you can probably get issues. So Hansa is going to open up one thing that we've been using. So what we do is, back in what we do is we maintain one instance so that we know what's happening to our clients. So this is what we want to do. So Hansa is going to open one of them now. But in the meantime, while Hansa opens it up, do you have any questions in terms of labor laws? Yeah, I think Madhu, you can also be with me. I'm very scared. Lawyer, when I have
Anil always does this.
So auditing one of the clubs, it was a religious communal-based club, so community-based club. They had one bar and restaurant section also in that. In the bar section, they had not paid the minimum wages to the bar server and all that. When I made a note that minimum wages is this much, payments of actual wages is below the minimum wages, they told me that they are paying them food. Every day they are taking food from the club itself. They are also giving them accommodation. So that question doesn't arise. So easy, according to the Act. Payment means easy to be monetarily counted or?
See, wages definition in Minimum Wages Act is very clear. And if I recollect correctly, I think we can share it in this tool as well. The wages definition does not include you cannot add the value of food given and all those accommodation. Unless otherwise you have actually valued it in the terms of offer letter that you released and all of that. You can't, when the issue becomes a question, that point in time you can't say that this is also part of wages. So I think you have to be in compliance with what is actually being paid. Or you should have created evidence saying that this much is the value. So he has acknowledged it, saying, okay, I partake this much of food and also value the accommodation this much, and then he has acknowledged it. Then you can argue. Because after the issues come up, you start doing that argument, I don't think you can stand.
Okay, while you're talking about Hansa actually pulled out the Minimum Wages Act, right? That is at the speed at which we can pull out the act. So and Hansa actually went on to just show how you went on. So I think. So this is what.
From your own screen.
So this is the tool, how it looks like, and why we ask people to do is, for example, it says payment of minimum wages. So it's that simple. So someone you're talking minimum.
This is an instance for a company we maintain as a test for us, and she has just filtered it using the filter tool for Minimum Wages Act, and it gives you all the tasks that you're supposed to comply and implement.
So if you
You are a compliance provider, or if you are in the company which are responsible for the thing, you can easily go on. So if you want to really do this kind of question come up, you have the acts, the rules, everything already there. It's a click of a button, it's available for you. And if you have seen, notice the wages definition there, it clearly excluded the value of any of the services provided. Does not include any house accommodation, subject like what medical is provided. So you.
So, I mean, if you look at the
Sir, I have a question on gratuity act. Can I raise this?
Yeah, please.
Is the service rendered after superannuation?
Okay.
Can it be taken for determining the qualifying service?
Question first is I would like to ask you is the superannuation is done, all the settlements, everything is being done. For example, if it's work with you, let's say 16 is your annual superannuation age, right? As an employer, has he settled all his retirement benefits, everything, including gratuity?
Oh yes, but a contract letter is given subsequently
After that.
after that.
Okay.
And
But he continued to do the same job.
Same job.
And
without break in service.
Without break. And supervision and everything. It's a typical employer-employee relationship.
Absolutely.
He has every right to ask for gratuity for the subsequent period of service rendered as well.
Yeah. So that can be taken for determining the.
Yeah, he has every right to raise it. If you're not, then go to the gratuity control reviews, nothing, nobody but the commissioner's office and then they can take it up.
The law is clear. He is entitled.
I don't know whether there is any direct citation for this, but yeah, the way, because he has continued to do the same work and all of that, he continues to be the employer-employee relationship continues. Gratuity being a long-term service benefit, and he continues to be, in spite of the fact that he has already been settled. So the balance period, what he has worked for, he is still eligible because you have already completed the 5-year minimum period.
Yeah.
Or let's say he has joined 3 years before his superannuation.
Yes.
Let's say 57 he joins. He can actually work 2 more years and say now I'm eligible for 5 years. It's possible.
As the employee has a fair chance in this.
Employee has a fair chance.
this is another joke that I crack all the time. Okay, so when we started thinking of this tool and when we wanted to make this tool happen, so I and Madhu share a very close relationship in this kind of team these days. And I said, Madhu, and I was in an entrepreneurial move, trying to do something new and all of this, and I was asking Madhu, we should build one tool on labor law. A very confusing thing. We don't know what, first of all, we don't know where the acted rule is. People kept saying something. And Madhu said, no, it's very difficult, a lot of complications. And Madhu and actually we sat down and we kind of jotted down on a whiteboard saying, what are the different problems? Right? And we came up with some 100 English sentences. And we said, okay, this, and actually both of us actually converted that to algebra. We said, okay, this is the variable, right? X square, this is X, this is Y, this is Z. X square plus Y plus 2X is this one, this should be the answer. So we kind of narrowed it down to 26 equations, and then those equations were converted into series equations so that, because there are multiple organizations, multiple establishments, and that logic is what we derive. And it's like anyone at a click of a button, he says, I am in Punjab, 5 people, 4 people, tell me now what are laws are to follow. It should give in next 30 seconds. We have a challenge for that. Right? I have a joke saying I have actually taken everything out of Madhu's brain. Because Madhu's a brilliant guy. He can actually, I personally didn't know what's it. I used to always have fun with him saying, I think women will never get punished. Because everywhere it says he will go to jail, he will go do that, he will do that. I said, where is she? And he told me saying there's something called General Process Act. I said, oh, this guy knows something. Right? So I think Madhu's brain we've actually done quite a bit. So everything, so the tool works like that. So it says, okay, you do this, what should I do? It will throw a list of compliances with the act and rule. I mean, that's pretty much. We wanted to push that thing into people saying, know the act and rule. You should say section 24 rule is, you should know that. Because I didn't know. Actually, I was a layman, I didn't know. So but everyone should know. Right? I think that's where we really kind of, also what we're building as compliance is also telling people, so we are actually opening up a chat window in our thing where queries come to Madhu and his team. So such kind of queries are open for. Right? And not just something on Google, but a certified answer from an experienced person like Madhu, which actually comes and tells you that this is the actual thing to do. I think a lot of queries come up, and that's how we kind of do that. And this is how it operates.
I think if it is legal law, I think we just experience how the tool goes, so you'll understand. Then after that we can get to.
You want to do? Yeah, this is how it pretty much works. Go to the home thing. Or you want to set up a...
Let's go to the basic stuff first and then...
just show the dashboard and how things.
This is on the web. It's connected to live. I don't know how strong Hansa's connection is.
See, if you look at it, what this tool has done is it gives you why, for example, displays notice why you need to do it, and it gives you the description. Here it is actually what you need to do to comply to gratuity. Payment of gratuity is the task. So it gives you the exact law which makes you do it. It gives you the description. So it also gives you a consequence of default. And if there is a particular form associated with it, then you can go and get the form. There are in gratuity there are so many forms. Normally in the way it is administered, people don't bother. So somebody resigns with eligible gratuity, we just give it. But if it is not given, employee has an option to use those forms to apply for it, etc. And you can create a checklist. If you are an organization, for example, you work for a client and then you want to be the person who making it, you want the client somebody to check it, or vice versa, you can get that done. You can create a bit of a flowchart, workflow, but not a fully enabled one. But still it will help you. And you can put comments on this saying what it is, and it will also show you, give you history. So
you can go on.
This is what he was talking about when creating evidence and keeping it. So tomorrow there is an audit. It could be an audit generally only to look at gratuity, or overall you yourself must be doing statutory audit for your clients. You can actually use this and say, okay, these are all done, it's compliant. So you can be assured from a perspective of everything to clients as well.
So if you actually open this, you will have the evidence, everything, so exactly who closed it, when it was closed, and all that.
And it can actually also enables you to say, if let's say it's being maintained in a particular file, particular file storage, you can actually make that statement as well there. So you are also, the Anil was saying, one of your colleagues shared the experience of 20 people walked away from the company. If this is there, you will never have a problem as to where to go and find this. So,
it's on the web, so you can access it from anywhere. You don't have to install. So we have a challenge that we put up saying our thing has been that anywhere we should be able to configure one establishment within 30 seconds. Everyone should know about labor laws in 30 seconds.
in fact, I think she's a little bit of issues with our admin data part. And while it gives you the description on the page, if you click there is an icon for the act. If you click the act will come completely. So what we have done is if you got a book, good. We are ensured that the book has the latest of all the provisions. We converted that into a Word document. We completely quality checked it from a perspective from full stop to if there are changes, then we put the citations when it changed or all of that, and then we kept it there. So that's all acts. Any act that has come in, we have put it into the system that has all the rules. So and also relevant rules. If you're looking for a Maternity Benefit Act Punjab rule, that is what it is, then it will come up in your establishment in Punjab if you have it. Against that, it will only show you Punjab rules. It will not show any other. But it will show you the Maternity Benefit Act, which is kind of all over the country is the same. So that's the kind of quality that we have put it into this. So it also is a reference library for it. So basically what last week we had a discussion with one of the Wellinger school where they wanted, why don't you convert this into a student model where students can experience it and then learn it. So we can also certify them after that. We can send online, we can actually put an evaluation, or we can make them work with one of those people who are working on this tool and then get a certification. So basically why I am saying this, it's a reference library for you as well. All labor laws that is already gone in there.
The first time that anyone actually has put all of the labor laws together in one place. We also call our tool simple, beautiful. We call it beautiful because everything that we do goes through a proper checklist. Sometimes I say I want to fire a missile, so I don't want any. So we actually have I think you mentioned 50-point checklist. We actually, when data is being entered or data is being monitored, it becomes a military ops room. That's what I've converted. I said no speaking, no noise, and everyone actually speaks out loud, saying I'm going to enter this data. Someone actually responds, yes, go ahead, check.
As we speak, ANSA is creating a establishment.
So
And it is intuitive, it actually gives you guidance as and when you go to
I don't know if
each.
you're able to see, but it actually says company name, establishment name, date, industry type, number of male employees, number of female employees, contact number. Right? Yeah, you can make it a little bit. All you need to do, put a marker, I think. That works. You can add multiple establishments, but right now we're just creating one.
See, what you see is different options. If you are an established company, let's say you're providing people to your clients, you can create a client. You might have contractors on your location, like your housekeeping services job, you can create a contractor for whom you can give him a login, and then he can upload so that you are sure that he is compliant, because of which as a principal employer you don't have liability. So like all of that, so she skipped all of that, and just
So it's actually looking up the entire laws of India, saying where is this person selected, what laws is applicable for that person. So this is now what Madhu and I discussed, the logic that we said, series expression algebra, so it's running all the algorithms behind it and saying what is the actual set of laws that should be applicable. So less than 30 seconds, we said, so that's how it gets set up. Madhu, I think all yours you can probably take.
Yeah, when you create, we consider you already complied 100%, so it will show you 100%. But if you go up, the first dashboard shows you due today, upcoming, high risk. So upcoming 24 will have, for example, if she
click there, it will show you as to what are the tasks. In that, it will ask you whether you have a registration certificate for shop installation. And unless otherwise you go and upload it, it will not make that compliant. So from tomorrow onwards, they start showing as non-compliant. So your dashboard will change. So when you go there, this is what again, uncheck the act. This is the standard you will find of all acts, of all rules that fall into the system. We are not like some of the tools, some of the websites to provide, just copy it and put the notification there. We are just converted into Word document, edited it and put it. Similarly, if you want a particular rule, it will check your rule. So going back, you can actually use the it will completion. You can go choose for your registration certificate and upload it and make it 100%. And it gives you, tells you what could be the evidence. So it says it's a scanned copy of the registration certificate. And you can say where it is, it's displayed. The original was supposed to display, so it's displayed in so and so office. So now it is compliant. So this is already stored there, so accordingly that particular task is complete.
Search for that answer. Registration. So what was uploaded, you can get in a second. So if there's an audit tomorrow, someone asks saying, where is the registration certificate? What we uploaded, it will just pop up. So that's what we say, making simple, compliance simple. The abstract also you can show them everything, display abstract. You can also say what all displays need to be done on such as Filtron displays, all the displays. I can say,
now you would have seen quite a few display requirements from the registration certificates to.
so let's say for Bangalore, what are the displays to be done? You can, I think, just say type, I want to show all the displays that I need to do. So it will show you all the displays. All you need to do is if you have not displayed it as yet, you just click on the act, download form. And that's a display that you need to do that. And so in case you have issues saying, okay, what should I display and all that, so all of the displays that need to be there will be there.
Here again, if you go to the market and try to
Buy them and this thing, in fact, I as a compliance provider and label as support provider, I have gone by what is available in the market. You have got quite a few stores in Bangalore also selling them. When we did this exercise, it was a revelation, quite a few of them were wrong. And you, for the sake of putting it up, you put it up there, labor inspector just, okay, you put it up there, you just see K or something like that, and then he says it's also okay, nobody bothers. But actually, quite a few of them available on the market, but in every state we found them to be wrong.
In fact, the best example of that would be the payment of wages, which still shows to be 400.
Yeah, so some of the displays, payment of wages aspect of the act has to be displayed. As of today, it is applicable to people who are drawing wages more than, up to 18,000. But this is gradually increased from 200, 400, 2,500, 10,000, etc. But the displays on the market till today show you 400 rupees.
I think that's pretty much, so that's how easy labor law compliance can get. Right? And any more questions, Madhu is always there.
Yeah, it's updated on a daily basis. So we have about 70 odd websites we keep scanning on a daily basis for any of, and of course we scan the newspapers saying this is happening, that's happening. And as you are professionals in the area, you know how difficult in India to get some of these updates on a basis. Even today there is a maternity benefit act, okay, it's passed, have the president sent it to it, we don't know. So those kind of, within that limitation, we get almost every day there is a team which kind of goes through this. If you get those notifications, immediately we do an analysis, how a task has to change, immediately we go back, change the task, and whoever subscribe to it overnight, by next day morning when you go into it, it is updated. And also we have a notification section that we put our comments and views on that, so you need to know that as well.
I have a question.
Yep.
There are some mandatory registers also be maintained, like employee register, sick leave register, attendance register. Like these mandatory registers are to be maintained. My question is, one, whether we can maintain in hard copies only or can be maintained in soft copies also. And the next question is these registers are changing from state to state or it is common across all the states?
Let's be assured, sir, it changes from state to state. Okay, so quite a few of them are common, but then states also have come up with consolidated registers, combining quite a few registers, like in Kerala, in Karnataka, you have Form T, which takes care of about 10 other laws, minimum wages and all annual returns registers in one format, right? So that way Karnataka is different, but if you are a company which is covered under the central labor commissioners because of the appropriate government of central government, let's say for example in a telecom company, then you can't follow Form T. So those kind of variations are there. To come to the question on the can be maintained in soft copy, we all know Information Technology Act 2004, Section 4 very clearly says whatever is supposed to be maintained in law, if it is maintained in the same form or whatever is maintained in soft copy electronics, is valid compliance. But you go try telling that to a labor inspector, you would have seen what is the right? So there is still a provision in almost all rules that you can go and get an exemption to keep your hard copy registers in soft copy, and you submit the format of that and then give it to the commissioner. He says okay, you keep it in. Unless otherwise you have that approval, you are not supposed to keep it.
It's a prayer approval or
it's a prayer approval.
prayer.
So if a labor inspector walks in and then you don't have it, you keep to claim that I am keeping it in soft copy, he can issue it. But again, what is the impact of Section 4 of the Information Technology Act? Nobody is taking that back. If actually, honestly, if any of these companies, including myself as a practitioner in this field, but if somebody has taken it to the High Court on 226, you would have actually got an order within a day. Nobody wants to fight that with the labor commissioner because they can create otherwise problems. Right? Having said that, today most of the companies are making it automatically, saying that Maharashtra has passed an order notification last year saying that whatever needs to be maintained in hard copy can be maintained in soft copy, right? And Tamil Nadu, we had recently applied for one of our clients saying that we want to maintain in soft copy. Actually the commissioner replied by saying, citing section 4 of the Information Technology Act and saying it's the whole application is redundant. So which means that they kind of accepted that and we can make it that it's soft copy.
But if you approach backlog, what we say you will have a backup backer to give the approval. So many of them have not got approval. If you approach directly,
No, Bangalore you don't get approval. I have 100 applications maybe, you don't get.
they won't give approval in Bangalore.
They don't.
Yeah, so they can still come and make you say you need to have a hard copy.
They will say you need hard copy.
Yes. You can't.
That's the situation we are in. One company has to take it. That's what I'm saying. Even some of the major reliable advocates are not prepared to do it because they don't want the client being targeted after that.
In Bangalore, few of the bigger companies have not got the permission.
No. In the tool, what we have, every registered task is the format of the register is also there in the thing, so you will have a guidance. But tool doesn't generate those registers. But we are getting to the next. Now, the next phase is basically if a client can give data, then they will take the data. Basically, you need the payroll data, the attendance, and then the master information of the employees. We can actually prepare those registers, and we can create an API from the client so that the data comes in, use the tool, prepare the registers and upload into the task so that you see this. So you see all the registers, if you click any of those tasks, you will get to the format and you can see the format, what is the legal requirement for it.
Another thing what Madhu was mentioning is you also put references here. So our end-to-end is talk to the company and also talk to the government. So government is ready, we will actually push that data into the government website wherever they want.
So in forms we did the same diligence with regard to their quality. Sometimes the books which are available, again unfortunately the forms can be quite confusing and misleading about the columns they provided there. So there are instances where even in Maharashtra where we found when you read and then what is the intention of the section from a perspective of what they want in the form and what are the headings, we found that obviously there are errors. So we went back to the department and some of them helped us to go to the originally notified form and then we corrected it. So it's been a revelation doing this last 2 years that we have come to this far. That way we kind of, when we go to student demos of this, we show a video which says that monkeys which when they try to go and take a banana, you would have seen this video, where you pour, it's an experiment started by scientists, right? You pour water on the monkeys and every time one monkey climbs and takes the banana, your monkeys have poured water. So they kind of think that something is there is a relation. You remove all, one by one the monkeys and then put new monkeys which is not been dumped with water. They also behave exactly the same way. Whenever another monkey tries to go take a banana, he will get hit by the other monkeys. So that's how we are all being behaving, unfortunately to say that. Because we just, okay, somebody has maintained this form in this way, I will continue to maintain it.
And in this platform, if there is any queries or anything, you will be able to.
Yeah, actually we are officially launching a chat on that, which can not only for clients but others, but clients definitely, you can write to us, there is ID, you can write to us, will come. We will chat once it's available, all subscribed clients, you can always chat with us.
So you can chat, you can call, that's what we are.
Where do the company's uploaded documents reside?
Yeah, it's on cloud. We are on a center exit.
Yeah, it's a controller secure cloud. So we actually have done, because we went with Tech Mahindra and all that, we've done penetration tests. So they actually did penetration test on our system. They actually had hackers hack our system and see whether they can penetrate to our system, and then they were not able to. So we maintain that security pretty strongly. Although it's on the cloud, we maintain it's a very secure environment.
Because it's without being on the cloud, we can't operate. Some of the pricing that we talk about is
our pricing is very different.
So we explain the pricing as
You have the slide? You have the slide? Pricing. It goes
by the number of employees, it goes by the number of locations, that is unit of compliance. Let's say you are a registered particular entity as a shop, let's say, and the shop means and there is a linkage to the number of employees. So I think let it come up. Basically, what if you have up to 9 employees, and in fact If you already subscribed with other clients, you can take that establishment free. But after 9 to 10 and after 10, there is a certain rate, and above 1000, there is a rate like that.
This is for compliance providers. Actually, if we sell directly, we sell at a very different price. We actually sell quite high. Right,
but for you who support clients, when it comes, so this is the kind of pricing that we have. If you look at it, it's quite low.
Installation or
No installation fee. So the algorithms that we built auto take care of the installation. It's actually we've applied for patent on this of how it reads and how we actually made labor laws easier. So we actually have a patent pending on this.
You are saying that 9 employees, is it pertaining to only one company or multiple companies?
No, it goes by your shops. Let's say if your client is an IT company, so they normally comply with the shops and establishments. They have 4 branches in Bangalore, one with less than 9 employees. For that particular instance, we charge you 50 rupees per month. Let's say they have another office which is up to 15 employees. So that's how so it is on the unit of compliance.
Only for long, different laws are there.
Yeah, this is a question that keeps coming to us, so we can do one at a time. So we have kind of covered all the Shops and Establishment Act related applicability, which will mean all your clubs, etc., education institutions, etc., etc. And we are now on the way of completing all Factories Act related compliances when it comes to labor law, which should be done by about September, end of September. We should have all. Today, Karnataka it is available. Any factory in Karnataka, we can subscribe with all the tasks, about 70 odd tasks per factory has to comply, and the Factories Act and rules will come up. And we definitely want to go not only in India for other laws, we also want looking at going outside India as well.
In fact, someone was mentioning why don't you do GST, because the tool is ready. Act, rule, compliance is ready. So someone who's knowledgeable of GST, unfortunately Madhu is not very knowledgeable of GST. So we're actually looking at saying whether we can we just need to put the content and put the checklist and automatically follow.
All that we need is an Excel sheet list of tasks we call it task the way we have started going about doing it. We reduce, let's say a Factories Act read section by section what it wants you to do, put that in English and say what is the frequency, etc. We have about 100 column checklist of the tasks. So from there we can, after that Anil's algorithm will take care of it, or his team's technology team's algorithm will take care of it. So we have built a platform, and if you have done labor law in India with its multiple variations and complexities, we are quite confident that any other law can be managed in this. Except that, for example, Companies Act, income tax law, huge number of tasks will be there, but we are actually okay. We can say that we are waiting for the funding. We just got it, so maybe the next time that's what we are going for.
How does your API work?
Pardon me?
Do you have an API for that, or do you need the
API, we are ready. For example, let's say tomorrow, like income tax, governments allow filing of annual returns or labor laws through online. We are ready. The moment that is allowed, we can actually from here we can push it out.
not only income tax, let it be PF or...
Exactly. So PF today, for example, the system doesn't calculate the PF. So we'll have to have the client give us, and then we can do it. But yeah, so that we can do. We are in the process of creating those APIs and do that. We need APIs two ways. One, to get the client data from whatever is their system they are using, from Tally to SAP, whatever it could be, and from there create those forms and push it out to the government sites if they allow. I don't think that's a challenge, because technology-wise, price-wise, they all exist.
I have one more question. These are the commercial registration is required for the commercial establishments. Is it mandatory for us also?
That's a good question. I keep coming up with this. In between before I got seriously into some plans and all that, I used to work for a social enterprise. What I realized was, even if you are an NGO, if you look at the definition of establishment or commercial establishment, any of shop and establishment act. It would say any official clerical kind of work if you're doing it in a particular place that will become an establishment, you need to register it. But I am being very hotly contested by some of my clients as well. But some states like Kolkata, even Bangalore amendment is very, whether it is for charity or not, is included in the commercial establishment definition. So you will have to comply.
Even though there is no employees are appointed and not.
See, in Karnataka, even if you are a zero employee establishment, you need to register. But there are certain like Maharashtra, I think it is like 5, you need more than 5 for you to register.
The only exception is, I think, mutually, if you're doing for mutual interest, because you need not register.
Yeah, so you need to prove that, so there is a definition of establishment, there is a definition of commercial establishment. So is there commerce not involved? So that's what it's for mutual benefit of few people, then you may kind of get away with it.
To say even when there are no employees, like only trustees are there, they are doing just some charitable
If you are an establishment as defined as this thing, yeah, even if you don't have employees, you will have to register.
But there is no that way a proper office. No, they would have given one of the trustees residence.
No, if you don't have a commercially working office, see, establishment, unfortunately, any labor law you take, it goes with the address where you are, the location and office, right? So if you can prove that it's a trust, nobody is really working there, I mean, leave alone working because that's zero is what is required. But it is a trust for mutual benefit of people, saying that there is no work happening there.
Not it's for the charitable purposes.
Right.
And usually one of the trustees' residences are given the address. So there's no office as such. They meet, they call whatever they want.
I would, to strictly interpret, you might need registration for that as well.
I don't think so because all the compliances are related to the number of employees. Even the fees also is based on how many employees.
If Karnataka fees is based on up to 9, you have to pay 500 rupees. It doesn't say this money. So on 9 to 15, it goes up to the next.
Employee zero.
Employee zero, you need to have registration. Yeah, you need to have registration.
I think 1 to.
It's 0 to 9. If you want to go to the reference, check. It's
mentioned as 0 to 9.
0 to 9.
Good, gentlemen, any more questions for us? I think most, yeah.
Sir, one organization, the school and college, pending revision of the wages in due course, they pay some ad hoc allowance to all the employees, depending on some percentage of the salary. Does it qualify for provided from the company, ad hoc allowance?
So provident fund wages is a big controversial subject to know, right? So there is lying with the Supreme Court couple of two things. One is whether you have to pay basic plus DA as per the minimum wage notified rates. That's one. Second is what are the elements which goes into PF wages, right? PF department always defines anything and everything defined as an allowance should be should be part of PF wages, right? Their argument goes back to the what is the which is this, where if it is an allowance paid uniformly to every employee, not only in that establishment, maybe in the industry, then it should be part of PF wages, right? But that is staying with the Supreme Court, they are not doing. And internally, when the Supreme Court PF department tried to enforce it, they, because of the central government pressure, they kind of told their enforcement officers not to go and enforce. So today, if for example, that particular, let's say 20% of the current wages they are paying, at least to the extent what is the basic as a percentage of that particular thing, you need to pay PF for it. We have to say percent. Yes. One is it? No employees is 250, so that's what it is.
But I think you should go with the office at least, no? There's a basic law, examine closely the definition of establishment.
Just take the commercial establishment definition.
Means a shop or commercial establishment.
go.
So you can dispute based on definition of shop or commercial establishment.
Banking, establishment, administrative service, persons are mainly engaged in office work. So that's where I was saying, any kind of office work. Hotel, restaurant, boarding, eating house, or any refreshment house, theatre, or any other place, public assembly, which may include service statement made by notification declared to be official. Yeah, here.
As I used this many years ago, I just referred setting up. That's how somebody goes that NGO operating from a purely charitable basis, and meeting in a house and doing some charity work, whatever personal funds they're putting or raising from their friends.
Yeah, that maybe you are right. So if it is maybe purely residential area they're working, but we have sold a tool to a couple of NGOs where they have a large establishment, right? So we actually advise. So I have a company, society which works against trafficking of women and all of this. So they have large establishments.
And I think charity departments are out.
Charity departments advocates are all out. So.
Because of one of our fellow members who took the case.
Yeah, it's a reportation.
Couple of years back, I think single registration number was given to establishment for any labor or related. After that,
yeah, that is the links number, labor number, which it's from a digitalization perspective. That's what we were also talking about.
so after that, no news about that.
Yeah, I really what happened in the background. We keep interacting with labor commissioners both at the state and central level. Initially when they started doing it, wide publicity was there. PM opened it with a lot of this thing. Every establishment you get a link number and all of this stuff, right? But they realized they cannot link PF, ESIC registration separately. All of this cannot come under the same. So they were not able to enforce it. Even, for example, a telecom company which has to comply mostly under the central government, but if they have an establishment in the state, they need to comply sharpness level. How do we link both? So they kind of got stumbled on it, and then they now reworking the whole thing. Infosys is working very seriously with the government order. At least the central this thing will come. But even today, central inspections, for example, I support a company called Quest where they have 120,000 employees across the country as contract workers, right? So on the telecom companies, our inspection notices always come through mail now, coding our lane number and saying, so there is an inspection for this particular establishment where you are working. So then to that extent they are using it. But the revamped one should be expected anytime, maybe a year or so, within a year or so, that they will link all compliances to it. So that's where in central government at least the CLRA registration, license, annual return, everything you can do online.
This e-Prerana, state Karnataka, only commercial taxes and all are there. I don't think any labor law.
No, the shops registration they use it.
Yes.
But the thing is, it's not automatic yet. What happens is you file your application. Then you will still go and meet the labor inspector too. He has to approve it using it. So they get that control there. Even they are also moving into contract labor registration and licensing online. Right now, if you go file a physical form, they will not accept it because they are on their transition. But again, it is not like you apply online, you get it. In Delhi, for example, shops registration, you apply, you can only download the certificate. You don't have to wait for anybody.
Professional tax they have done.
Yeah, professional tax they have done. So professional tax registration actually you can complete it online without any of this. But it's not done that way. In fact, government e-Prerana for labor law, even before this government, they wanted to introduce it. As you know, the inspectors really stopped it. And finally, when they put the workflow where the inspector has to use his login to give you approval, that's when they accepted it. See, I think it is. It's like an idea whose time has come. It's like that. I think it has to happen. See, I manage in the other job other than compliance almost 120 compliance employees. Right? Some of them are still thinking, sir, nothing of this will change. But I always give the exemption of PF. I mean, example of PF. Provident fund till 3-4 years back, or take ESIC. Right? ESIC, I was one of the founder employees of TVs. So those days we used to, this is I'm talking about 2003-4, almost about 430 subcodes we used to have, right? To file an off-year in return, I used to have one guy start traveling from Kanyakumari up and then Jammu Kashmir down and then Guwahati to west and then like that. So only way I can finish filing my off-year returns will just be filing. Today, it's just a click. In fact, you don't have to file off-year returns, you technically ask me, but still there is a provision online, you can just click of a button, you can file it. Your chartered accountant has to certify those returns if they employ more than 40 people, right? So I keep giving that example. Also, for example, forms, right? PF forms. Since nobody from PF department is here, we used to have 20 people working in PF department to follow up on our forms. Then always your withdrawal forms of the employees will never be clear, right? One fine day that all those 20 people lost their jobs. Right? Today you just go file online until you can get it done. And if that's why Anil was making a point, right? You have digitalized PF today. How many of the employers are ready with it? You link your UAN number with the Aadhaar number of your employee. Today, employee need not come to you for any other transactions, right? But you would not believe any big names you take, not even 20% compliant. The PF office issues any amount of threat, it's not happening. The HR, whoever is the person responsible for it, when we go and meet the PF department, it is a very sad state of affairs.
Actually, employees themselves can access and see that.
Yeah, you create UAN and give the access, and they can only.
System and all.
It changed tremendously. So,
but I wonder if an employee can claim online.
They can. If your employer has created your UAN, and to that UAN, if you are linked to your Aadhaar, then you won't get a UAN unless your bank account already linked, right? If Aadhaar is also linked, there is a separate form which has been now created. So if you leave your job and you have joined a new company, you can yourself transfer your PF to the
somebody who's left.
Yeah, and you don't have to go to the employer.
You can claim the refund also.
So you can claim the refund also.
Another thing, just adding on to what Madhu is saying, so what we're also planning, I think in fact we were discussing to meet the labor ministers, is also saying whether this tool can be a tool for the inspectors to audit itself, rather than doing something else. And you should basically have a single platform where they come up front and say, this is what you need to comply by, I will audit you by this. Right? Not come one day and give a surprise.
It will be very good because they recognize this product. Then
that's a big change.
Also comfortable.
Yeah, ideally what we would like is the labor department promoting your product.
Now we have this crazy idea of saying as soon as the register, username and password should come.
Yeah, chance to make the recommendations for any changes, etc. My feeling is why PF number should be separate for every employee. For different establishments, he gets a different account number if he changes 5 establishments.
So now your universal account number is your universal account number. You don't need PF number. Once that currently the challenge for PF department is also universal account number is not given to everybody. So they have to have others.
The question of transfer and all should be.
In fact, today UAN portal is under maintenance, and we were told from 1st October when it comes back, or the next 15 days or so it comes back live. You will have to create. You will be forced to create a UAN number for a new employee who joins, right? And then only you can create your ECI and so on. If that happens, then your PF number becomes redundant.
There's a small request. There's a feedback form in the docket that you've given. It would be great if you can just give us a small, very small 3 questions. We try to keep it simple.
What is the charges of this? What is the charges of this?
Cost?
You can put on that slide, yeah. It's in INR, not dollars. I'm not in Saudi riyals, by the way. You do a lot of work in Saudi.
Advance payment or?
Let's say it depends. If it is a smaller, for example, I don't want to keep coming to you for 50 rupees anymore. So we might tell you it's for.
If it's a small one, yeah, we take it up front.
What is monthly, half yearly and annually?
So what we do is, if there are too many to them, you can pay it monthly. But if just one, we say go for annually. Just take it. In fact, we're coming up with an online payment portal. So if someone wants to pay it directly and use it, because it hardly takes 30 seconds to configure. That's what it is.
So you can pay through online also?
Not right now, but the development is going on.
Yeah. For these small amounts, I don't want to raise an invoice.
Registering doesn't get asked for the amount, credit card or debit card.
Yeah, exactly.
You can do it that way.
Right now we are not creating the payment gateway, but we are in the process. Right?
But you have to raise invoice, right?
No, you can download an invoice. No, normally all your payment gateways work that way, right? So
The customer sends you the check.
Today, yes.
Today, yes.
Today, we have reached a stage where we have really become where bigger companies started using. So bigger companies we anyway invoice that we get, so that's okay. But we said, why can't we give this to all the, raise the level?
Small companies, which means they have to wait till you come and collect the check and then.
No, we configure it online. That understanding we have.
So savings and we cannot.
Yeah. We can.
And payment for that is to make.
Right now, what we say is we have an understanding, and
They have a demo or trial.
They have a trial version. Pilot version is there.
No. There's an initial period when they can start using it and then they pay.
Yeah. That's how it's been happening till now. They start using it, and we know that they
Can give us a link.
Absolutely. We will do one thing. We will probably.
Also, maybe you are having a slide on how Charlie partner.
Yeah. So that's something we totally forgot. Yeah. I think thank you for reminding me. So we have a partnership program that we're planning, and your feedback will also be very greatly appreciated. We are trying to come up with a sign-up page with some clients, and then we also allow small chartered accountants, people who haven't done labor law too much, right? Who have not really done labor laws. We configure one client on pilot basis, and then we let them manage compliance, so they can take help from our team. So we have a central operations team, more like a command center. So you can call that thing, what is this and how do I manage this and all of that. So they help you in managing it. So you know the labor law, so you get understand how the labor law works. And then if you maintain a certain percentage, so we know that this particular instance is at this percentage. So we're able to maintain more than 95 months compliance, 95% above compliance for your clients. Then we actually certify and put you on our website. So we promote you, saying, this person, I think you can. This CA knows labor laws, right? He's actually compliant and he knows labor laws, because by that time you would have actually interacted with our team quite a bit. You would have asked the relevant questions and all of that, and then that's how we want to kind of do. This is how we are thinking. Also, what we are doing is the big compliance consultants will probably kill me. What we're doing is when we find an opportunity, because the larger companies find this pretty good. Right, because that's they want. So we get larger contracts. So we don't want, to build items. So we're actually trying to see if we can if you find good CAs in different pockets, we're saying, outsource it to them directly, because from a tool perspective, we know the score. We can have a thing, even we can have a thing. So we get a wider reach of our customers as well. So that's what we're trying to do. You anyway get compliance checklists. You will get legally verified minimum wages. So Madhu and his team will actually verify and then put it up, so you get that quickly. And then any support anywhere in the country. So you might find that your your business partner might say, I want to open a shop somewhere in the north or the west or the south and in the east, and you guys don't have that reach. For labor compliance, we will find you partners who is also Simpliance certified, saying this is the partner, you can use it, so you don't lose your business because he's growing and you're not able to support. Right? So that's something that we have. So this listing is happening. This entire website is going to go live in another 2 weeks. So we're actually getting all of this. This is the beta version that is running. So it's on beta. So that's going to happen. And so whoever is getting certified, we keep uploading their list. And because people will start coming to our website because of the huge content that we have, they will also see that at this location there is this consultant available, right? And it's Simpliance certified. So that's something that we're coming up with. Also, what we're doing is this is something that we're doing is Madhu was mentioning that the registers are still not automated. Till such time the registers are not automated, you can actually kind of outsource your entire register generation to our team. So you give us, we will prepare all the registers, upload it into the system. So you just do the front ending with your consultant, so we do the back ending. So that's something you can use to reduce your cost. Be compliant, but actually outsource it, because for us it works out very cheap. So we are a very tech-savvy company, and we have everything that is automated, which is still not built the API. right? But everything else is automated. So you send us the data, we upload it. You in your instance see that this data is uploaded, this task is closed. So that's something that you can do, right? All of this probably will help you quite a bit in reducing your cost. So you don't have to, you can still manage 100. There's something called the compliance provider login. Do we have that here?
Yes.
I will just request, Hansa is my colleague, Hansa Sharma. She looks like a German. Everywhere she goes, they say she's a German, but she's not a German. She's pretty much a hardcore Bangalorean. So what we also have come up with this compliance provider module, where you can have multiple companies listed with you. So you will have a login. If you have, let's say, 20, 30 clients, all your clients' logins will be available for you. So you will see what is the score in each login, right? So that's something that is also ready, that people are already using. Anything else on the slide? Yeah, that's pretty much. I think that was what our partnership program was. I think we got pretty carried away with all of this, the questions and all that. It's a responsive design, so it will fit on your.
It's asking more. App is there.
It's not an app. It's a web application, but it anyway will. It's a responsive design, right? So automatically fit into our. So this is pretty much how your login, in case you go for it and you have multiple clients that you're supporting. This is how it's going to look like. So you will have which company has which compliance, right? It keeps showing you, right? 4 companies at high risk, 0 companies, all of that. Compliant companies 4. If you really want to get into and check, what happened to my demo company, you log into that thing, and it takes you into that compliance checklist. So it takes you into that instance, saying what's happening there, right? So that's something that you can do. You can either outsource it to all of us, saying we will manage the compliance, we will let the compliance.
Whoever clients are there, suppose they are using this platform, and we can be made as a, because it helps us in our audit.
Yeah, you will get this login as a provider login. You get to say 10 of your customers there, clients there. So you know where is the and you can give a login to your client if you ever want to give it.
Whenever our clients are trying to product,
yeah,
you can mention that so is a.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are actually building an audit module which is independent. One is where they are already Simpliance customers. The other one is they are not Simpliance customers. So you can take already Simpliance customers. All that you need to do is I want to audit it. So it will
what additional cost for the.
We are planning to price audit module, but we'll have to come
This
back.
one is free. This is free. This has no cost.
So how does this go? This auditor himself does for his client.
Yeah, you do it. No, you can do it very easy.
As a chartered
So either you can purchase the license, put it into your costing and give it to your client. You tell your client that this is my delivery platform. To cater for the costing within your costing that you're providing. The other way is you tell the customer this is the rule available and the customer is going to buy the tool from us. And you still have access to it, and it kind of comes down here for you, where you can actually log in and do the compliance. It works both ways.
I was looking at a scenario where the clients are directly referred because you don't want to get into the habit
Sure, got it.
of managing that. But for us to know how far they have complied, we should have a kind of a.
There is an audit module for it.
No, you can still get that, right? If it gives you access, you can see.
It will add you as a person who can access his tool, and you get to audit and see everything. Plus, you will also have access to do the compliance if required.
But many of the level of compliance doesn't come under the purview of chartered accountant.
Correct, exactly.
No, but
Can we categorize it into what is relevant for the CAs in particular and the others? So that
the idea of reaching out to you is wherever we have gone, at least the SMAs, no, we work with this CA, please go and talk to him, right? So that's the reason why we have come here. No, even for labor law.
That's the exact reason.
Even for labor law, no, I work with this CA, whatever he tells me is what I do, please go talk to him. So that's why instead of going that route, we have come this route.
in addition, CAs are not responsible to comment anywhere other than the fee of the living.
Right.
Exactly.
That we agree. That's it. But the kind of reputation that you, as a professional, you carry.
They all think that you're compliant, by the way. So when actually there was this UK company which came to India. They just had some 15-20 employees. They shifted their operations to India, And so this guy that I spoke to, Kid Cox, okay, so Kid Cox, I asked Kid Cox, I said, are you sure you're maintaining all the laws? No, my CA is doing everything, he is a very good guy. I said, by the way, these laws exist also. She said, no, then he called the CA. So why are you not compliant? You said you would do everything for me. Right, but why? Then immediately they bought the instance. Now Kid Cox has an instance which is running, so he knows what labor laws. So now the CA started using it, saying, okay, I will maintain all these also. So because I think people, I mean, kind of reputation you guys have, they all blindly follow. My CA takes care of that. So he thought it is good to, you can still recommend and tell, these guys do it, we don't do it, but these guys do it. Good, anything else? With the previous time I said gentlemen only, I didn't say ladies. That general clauses agreement should cater for that. Gentlemen also, ladies apply. Okay. So thank you very much. If there are no more questions, it was very nice interacting with you with CS.
No, what we will do is we have collected your feedback and email ID. So when we come back, we will come back with you opportunity for you to do a demo. Give you a demo login, you can test it.
You can test it, play around with it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It was a nice evening. Pleasure to be here.